Today is National Couples Day.
I mean, we're a couple of couples, right?
So it's a perfect time to hit the streets and ask one simple question. What's your biggest pet peeve about your partner?
Oh my God, he does this weird, when I do something stupid or silly, he goes, I hate that sound. And he still does it.
When I shower, I close the door, but she'll want to have a conversation about what are we going to eat for dinner tonight? I'm standing there naked. I'm like, not now.
When he's eating ice cream, he's like, how do you make ice cream crunchy?
Spray tans. The sheets are brown.
Being very jealous. That is one of those things that I don't like.
Being disrespectful to the waiter.
He takes something off the hanger in his closet. He just keeps the hanger in the middle, just hanging out.
He uses a butcher knife to spread butter on.
She gets a venti Starbucks every single time. It could be Trenta, venti, grande. She only drinks this much of it.
This girl hates the earth. She leaves lights on in every single room. She has left my freezer open.
He does not want anyone to mention one word when he is driving. He does not want any comments on his driving, even if it is not good.
Tell me how this woman be putting music on the speakers and doesn't even know the lyrics. She's over here singing lyrics to making up her own lyrics to a song.
Well, I hit it with my girl. She'll be like,
no cuddles, no cuddles, no cuddles.
And there you have it. The couple that complains together remains together.
I don't think that's right.
Happy National Couples Day. And may your relationship always be as strong as your passive aggressiveness.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
You are so annoying.
So annoying.
God, these guys are so annoying, aren't they?
There's just a stupid kid's show.
Honestly, that show, it's irresponsible.
Oh, yeah? Then you're gonna hate this.
It's The Scream and Handsome Dan. Good morning. Hey, Fred, good morning to you, sir. Happy Monday. New Sublime on the radio right now. New Sublime. That's some business that I should be saying when I was 26, not 51. So cheers to Jacob Knoll taking his dad's spot. Bud and the boys making it happen. I mean, I'm not a fan of I like the song. I like the lyrics. But it's a good-ass hook. Sublime, baby. So it's good. It is good. It's a good Monday. Happy Monday. We are hot today, tomorrow. It's freaking gross. Summer is not done. The dog days of summer are upon us. Right? Isn't that what they call them, the dog days of summer? It's typically been in July, but we had a oppressive heat a few weeks ago now, and now we're going to get back into it today, tomorrow. But that's not my purview. We'll leave that pasture to graze for the beefy stud we call Stone Richards. All right. So today, for not really a deep dive, but a substantial amount of content is going to be poured into the top 10 forgotten American disasters that will blow your mind. Okay? Because it's cool. And one of them actually is from, came through our area, but probably 7-8 miles north of our farm. Many moons ago. It is the only show of the week, unless I decide Wednesday. I may live stream on TikTok or something while I'm driving down to Texas. I don't know. But I am heading to Fort Worth this week. And I'm excited because I get to see my friends Justin and Glenda, whom I have not seen since they got married because we're terrible friends and we don't visit Texas enough. It'd be easier... Yeah, Rhett. 1925, I think it was. It's in my notes. But yeah, Rhett's savvy on the history. And some of these you might remember. Yeah, I think you were like me when we were kids and you'd read all the good Ripley's Believe It or Not stories, and then you'd want to dive deeper into those stories, and then Grandpa would tell you about, your grandma got sucked up in a tree and landed next to a broken 45 of stormy weather. It was amazing. Those kind of stories. But anyway, got some of those on deck. And how to age your body gracefully. I am dealing with a little bit of sciatic pain today in my left hip because, yes, right? And still do. But But anyway, we went to the water slide yesterday. We went to St. Genevieve's Water Park, and if you've not been up to St. Gen for River Rapids Water Park, you need to take your buns up there. It was a good time. It was a good time for us old people. It was a good time for the youthful types. But there was a lot of fun. I went down the slides. I went down the Super Suicide Fast Slide. Yeah. Look at me go. And we mat raced, Layla and her friend Ella. What I discovered on the mat race ones is where the water culminates at the bottom, creates a little break, like where the delta would form if there was sediment. Anyway, if you think, I'm going to just hump over this, and you pull your mat up, you know what happens to that bump of water? It doesn't get compressed. It punches you in the balls. That's what happens to that hump of water. So that's what I discovered yesterday. But it was a good time. We had a good time. Happy family shenanigans. Good morning, John. And, it was fun. We swam, we laughed, we cried, we loved it. And I only got one little boo-boo. Carrie went down the water slides with me. It was fun. Enjoyed it. Evened out my farmer's tan a little bit, too. You can't really tell, but now that I see it in the camera, it's still pretty definitive line. But, hey, don't really care. All right. Nonsense. It's National Fajita Day. How will you celebrate? I have La Fiesta Fajita Seasonings out of Texas. That's good stuff. It's my favorite. National Fajita Day, so go fajita yourself to death. It's National Pinot Noir Day, so get a Pinot with your fajita. I don't know if that pairs well. After the second one, it won't matter. It's National Ice Cream Pie Day. I've never understood the concept of ice cream pie. It's either a pie or it's ice cream in the form of a pie, but it's not a pie anymore. I don't know. Is it? I would call it ice cream cake. I don't have any trepidation about that. Mail Order Catalog Day. Anyone still get mail order catalogs when they're not flying? Write a Bad Poem Day, and if we have time, post disasters, we're gonna prompt AI to write us some bad poetry today. Or we'll just do it off the cuffs. To hell with it. We'll just drop some bars on you. National Couples Day today. Cheers to my wife. We were just texting a little bit ago. I was relaying her that I have an appointment this afternoon with the chiropractor because of my little bit of sciatica. But it's Couples Day. Hooray for having a couple. And we had our annoyances. What's a pet peeve about your couple, about your special partner in life? Your special lady friend. You've never ordered a mail before? Probably could. Temu would get you anything these days. All right, let's get this TIQ out of the way. God dang it. This one's kind of a dumb one, I'll be candid. But I'm going to post it anyway. World Breast Cancer Research Day. Go get them boobies smushed. I don't know why that wasn't on my radar. Shameful. Big fan of the smushed boobies and unsmushed, but yes, get your mammogram. Get your boobs tested, please. I've several friends that have had to fight through breast cancer, and the early detection is the key. Just like fellas, check your nuts, check your billies, and go into that doctor and get that part checked with the mad, crazy eye. Marty Feldman and his magic finger. It wasn't Marty Feldman. What was that actor's name? 3 in 10 parents use their kids as an excuse to do this. Go to the water park. No. But guess away. Today's TIQ is wide open. Get out of going to a party or event. Cancel plans. Those are both good guesses and probably would have been my first. Go to Disney. Nope. We're going to dig in on birthdays. Oh, my slip was showing. Woo, look. Oh, a little bit of studio back there. Hey, green screen eating all the yellow. It's a real show. Speaking of real shows, Cody's been posting some little music snippets out in the yard with the dog. Get a vasectomy. Good guess. Watch cartoons or go to Disney. No. Yeah, the lack of kids. No, yeah. These two. You really want another one? Jesus, woman. No. Not it. Anyway, little birthday malort from the King of Illinois, Abraham Lincoln. Good morning, Matthew Henry. But yeah, I was talking about Cody, and he's tossing the dog a little bit and then blowing a little bit of trombone action in the yard. It's been nice. Thanks, Cody. Avoid business events and after-hours stuff. Nope. Gosh, I'd love to have cocktails with you guys, but my kids have some stuff, and I got to be there for dad reasons. Nope, ours are just fucking busy. We don't get we don't get any avoidance. We just don't do anything. Hey, happy birthday to Hunter A. Williams. Met Hunter through our Uptown Jackson shenanigans. Hunter, dandy of a real estate agent too, by the way. Happy birthday. He is one hell of a boner. A fantastic boner. I'm hoping that Aaron Chandler will finish repairing my boner someday soon. The big thing, it wasn't his time. It was getting a part. You abuse a horn for 35 years, and eventually things just wear away and are unable to be reworked. Boarding the plane early. No. I've got kids. Let me on the plane first. No, Karen. Sit your ass down. Southwest don't care. And they don't. Jordan Riggins. Happy birthday, Jordan Riggins. Rocker. Sarah Turner. Nature rocker. Happy birthday, Sarah. Chad Francis. Happy birthday, Chad. Hope you're having a fantastic Monday birthday. He is the best working on boners. You know, no one can buff it out quite like AC. Big Earn. Knocking it out the box. Jeff Scott. Happy birthday, Jeff Scott. Marco Otten. Marco Otten. Not Polo. Marco, happy birthday, sir. Danny Tetley. Happy birthday, Danny. We used to work together at Rapco back in the glory days. Those were fun days. We had some fun times back then, playing in a Rapco band and boot scooting around. And so, happy birthday, Danny. Happy birthday to Raina Morgan. Hope you have a fantastic birthday. Fabulous and fit on your, we'll call it the 24th birthday. Spencer Davis, happy birthday. Not his group, just Spencer Davis. Happy birthday. Ah, ha, ha. Funny jokes. Nobody's ever made that before. Bradley Meyer, happy birthday, sir. And Matthew Kiesling. Matthew Kiesling has an infectious laugh. And we went to college together, and he's an awesome human. And it is his birthday. So happy birthday, Matthew Kiesling. Celebrate. Drive to Cape. Come to the Roundabout. I'll buy you a coffee. All right, those are our birthday folks. Now, in the celebrity birthdays, and still taking your skip the bathroom line. That's a good guess. TIQ guesses, whale away, all right? TIQ says, birthdays, celebrity birthdays. So, Courtney, that's what we call them. Kurt Cobain and Courtney. Courtney, their baby. Frances Bean Cobain is 33 today. That makes me feel old that the Cobain daughter is 33. I'm so old. Happy birthday, kid. Frances, kid. She's a way of an adult. Get off a sinking ship. No, good guess. No, Brant also boarding plane early. No. Buy junk food, buy cereal. You're in the ballpark, but that's not it. But, closer. Andy Samberg is 47 today. Malcolm Jamal Warner would have been celebrating 55 today, which is sad. Christian Slater has made it to 56. Edward Norton has made it to 56 as well. They're celebrating together. Did you know they were twin brothers? I didn't know that. Christian Slater and Edward Norton. I mean, it's obvious now when you think about it. Madeline Stowe is 67. Dennis Leary is 68. Elaine Boozler is 73. And Robert Redford is celebrating 89 today. 89. Robert Redford. You know, a movie I haven't watched in probably a couple decades, but Robert Redford in The Natural. It's one of the best baseball movies ever made. Good-ass movie. So much so that when I was a kid, I took one of my bats and sanded it down and wood burned some shit in it because I thought but it was like a T-ball bat. Didn't work out too well. But anyway. Play with toys. No. Stop eating vegetables. No. John has had the closest guess so far, but it's more of a narrowed thing. It's not a very vague thing. Ooh, hounds. All right, we're going to keep moving because I want to get Today in History done, get our brekkie bits knocked out. I want to get into our disasters here after a little bit. I want to make sure I got plenty of time. So we got some disastrous disasters to talk about. But what happened in history today? Well, all of us probably, I assume you have done our little childhood whippets and sucked in some helium from a balloon, right? So your voice could go up way up here and you could be like, hey guys, boop-a-doo-boo. You know, we always suck some helium. If I had any helium right now, hell yeah, you bet we'd be blowing some helium whippets and having funny voice times. But I don't. But to see dumb movies. No, good guess. Trick or Treat. That's a good guess as well. Not it. No, it is, yeah. John's guess was a very vague, the buy crappy food for you or buy cereal or whatever for you. That was a too vague version. That was the closest guess I was talking about. But on this date in 1868, helium was discovered for the first time by French astronomer Pierre Janssen. He was looking through his telescope and he was like, what's that big HE floating around in the air? Oh, it's not He-Man, it's helium. Ha. No, anyway, 1868. And once he discovered that, we discovered fun. By the way, ladies, on this date, 1920, the 19th Amendment to the Constitution was ratified. Guess what? You can vote now. You're welcome. That's what they said in 1920, some misogynistic douchebag. He was like doing the news. He's like, by the way, women are now allowed to vote thanks to a passing of the 19th Amendment to the Constitution. You're welcome, ladies. Back to you, Terry. They didn't have television. That was on the radio. 1956, Elvis Presley hits number one with a double down on Don't Be Cruel / Hound Dog. Yeah, white women could vote, Alicia, to be fair. And then good luck, right? Elvis, though, number one, Don't Be Cruel and Hound Dog. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, barking all the time. And the world clapped because a white kid was singing it. 1969, we mentioned on Friday, Woodstock kicked off. 1969, on this date, Woodstock concluded with a riveting performance by Sir Jimi Hendrix. I don't think he was ever knighted. He should have been, though. But anyway, Jimi Hendrix wrapped it up at Woodstock. All right. Thanks, Fred. Have a great day, man. I hope I'm more accurate than I actually know. I'm not. I'm not rarely. Or something. 1977 on this date, Elvis died. His funeral held on this date in Graceland. 75,000 fans outside Graceland. 150 guests inside for the funeral. And that was it. 1977. The funeral fashion of the time. Wide lapels. Faded shadeds. All right, 1979, the number one song in the land, Chick, Good Times. Boop, boop, boop. Baby doop, beep, 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 doot, doot, doot. Right? The immortal bass line. Good times, though. Alicia Keys hits number one with Fallen on this date in 2001. That song is almost 25 years old. Holy cow. Alicia Keys, though. She only looks 25 years old. So, baby Alicia Keys released her song Fallen and got number one on this date. There you go. 2005, Wichita, Kansas resident Dennis Rader sentenced to 175 years in prison for the BTK serial killings to which he confessed in court. Scary, dark shit. TIQ, get ice cream or pizza? No. But not wrong, just wrong thing, I guess. This will go quicker now because we're in the funnel. Let me jump back up. So eat McDonald's or fast food? No. Drink alcohol? No. Nah, that's an applicable excuse, but no. But good guesses. All right, and what else? Oh, in 2009, never forget, it was on this date that McSteamy's sex tape came out. And if ladies are like, what? He had a sex tape? Yeah. And it was his wife, Rebecca Gayheart, you know, the model with the really pretty eyes. She was in it, along with Miss Teen USA 2002, Carrie Ann Paniche. It hit the internet, but this was like 2009. The wild west of the internet was out there. You know, you didn't really have to worry about the dark web. It was just on the internet, on freaking Usenet or something. But, and by the way, that would make her of age, not a teenager, just in case that freaked anybody out. But yeah, and it was, did it wreck their careers? I don't know. I don't know if they were doing anything anyway in 2009. To drink Yoo-Hoo. Brant, you are so freaking close. It's just Yoo-Hoos are disgusting. What other option would you pick there if you were an actual human being and didn't drink freaking gross-ass Yoo-Hoos? You know what Yoo-Hoo is? Yoo-Hoo is for people who are like, you know what? Just put some water on the cereal and keep eating it. We're out of milk. Just put some water on it. No, you can't put water on Chex Mix. That's disgusting. Captain Crunch and water. Chocolate milk. Gregory Gannon. Honorable mention to Brant, though, for the Yoo-Hoo. I'm not a fan of Yoo-Hoo. Chocolate milk. But yes, that's it. To buy chocolate milk. They use their kids as an excuse to buy chocolate milk. Let me tell you, that's dumb. If you want a fucking chocolate milk, buy a chocolate milk. Why would anyone judge you for your chocolate milk? Hey, nice chocolate milk. What are you, 10? Why would you chastise someone over their choice to drink chocolate milk? I mean, now if you go into a business meeting and you're like, and you got a milk mustache and there's the CEO, probably not the most professional choice. Put it in a koozie cup or something. Nothing like a box of Nutty Bars washed down with a Yoo-Hoo. Blah! Brant, that's gross. It's not that gross, but it's still pretty gross. You know what can cleanse my palate? The dulcet tones of Stone Richard's Weatherlord. Yes, indeed. All right. So good job on the TIQ, guys. Yeah, it was to buy chocolate milk. We bought 2 chocolate milks yesterday on the way back from the water park, but for my kids. It wasn't an excuse. They were the ones drinking. I used to get the tall boys of the chocolate milk, you know, with the fluted neck, but they're like quart size or whatever. I love chocolate milk, but chocolate milk loves me. It's a great recovery drink. Is it really? Because I was actually making fun of them. I was like, yeah, nothing sounds more refreshing than a big-ass jug of chocolate milk right after 6 hours at the water park in the 100-degree heat. I was like, let's make cottage cheese. Come on, kids. It'll be fun. Stone Richards, ladies and gentlemen, your age-appropriate weather lord. Oh, shit. I'm Dennis. I'm sorry. I had the wrong chat on, and I missed all of Dennis's guesses. If Dennis guessed chocolate milk early, I'm going to be pissed. Okay, there's the post. Take off work? No. Score freebies at restaurants. Get out of social obligations. Spy on the neighbors. Validate their own parenting. And okay, good. No, Dennis, you didn't get the answer. I'm back on the chat. Yeah, you're still on Hurricane Aaron watch, but man, it's over the weekend it doubled in strength in like 6 hours, something like that. Like one day, it was doubled in strength. Stone, I don't know why you're not paying more attention to it. We have a multi-placed audience here, right? I know you just want to bring us the local hits, and that's your thing. It's okay. We're under a heat advisory today until 7 p.m. as we can expect those heat indices to hit the triple digits today and tomorrow. But the regular-ass temperature, even if it was freaking Arizona desert dry outside, today topping out around 98. Tomorrow, about 98. A little stickier tomorrow, too. So it'll be like today 105-ish, tomorrow 107-ish for the heat index. Clear skies. Tomorrow afternoon, 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Yay! And 40% overnight Tuesday night into Wednesday. Wednesday's got a 40% in the afternoon. But Wednesday, we'll see a little reprieve for the rest of the week. We got a cold front moving through Wednesday that's going to drop us about 91 for the high. And then we're going to stick around that 89 to 91 mark. By Sunday, I think we're at like 86. Let me look. Let me double check that. Sunday, sunny, high of 86. Hot damn. And really, the shower chances are done after Wednesday night. We'll be back into dry conditions, but much cooler. Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 89. Now, that's August weather I can get behind and say, back it up, August. Let me get at it. She was a skater girl. She said, see you later, girl. So there you go. Strawberry milk. If I ever take poison, yeah. And then the Nestle Quick strawberry. You know, remember the old tin cans you pop it with the spoon? It was like a dry, but it wasn't a loud pop. It was like like a little pillow of love. And a little puff of strawberry come out, and you just like you're doing a bump of strawberry mix. And then you just whoosh. Lows in the 60s and highs in the 70s for the next 10 days. Oh, Gregory, if you've got any roof work to do, today is the day, right? Man, that's awesome. Good for you. We're lows in the lows in the low 70s. So, not too bad, right, Stone Richards? That's right, Darren. Okay, buddy. I'm going to go do these brekkie bits. I'll see you later at the chiropractor. Who wants pancakes? Yeah, look at this kid. You ever get that excited about food? I have. If I were to travel to Canada today and get a proper plate of poutine, I would be my face. I would then feel terrible afterwards for eating all of that. British actor Terence Stamp. You would know him as General Zod in Superman 2. Son of Jor-El, kneel before Zod. Anyway, Terence Stamp passed away over the weekend. Zod passed away. He was 87. Peanut butter. No, Gregory, but you guys guess away. Are you guessing? Or are you just saying peanut butter? Is it just that kind of day? You never know. Chunky. Leaders from Germany, France, the UK, Italy, and Finland are going to join Ukraine's President Zelensky and Donald Trump at the White House today. Fingers crossed. That's all we can do. Just cross our fingers and pucker our ass. The Seattle Storm unveiled a new statue of Sue Bird in front of Climate Pledge Arena yesterday, honoring the WNBA star for her 21 seasons with Seattle. Spent her entire career with Seattle. They become the first WNBA team to honor a player with their own statue. Good on them. Would you want that? I mean, like, think about it. Like, if you were like a sports star or something, would you want somebody to put a big ass statue of you? Like, I don't know that I would. That would be weird to me. Really, my picture hanging up anywhere is weird to me. We don't have that here, thank God. The voice of Jor-El on Smallville. I did not know he did the voicing, too. That's cool. Peanut butter on those pancakes. Oh, man. I'm not a peanut butter on much of anything guy. It's not terrible, though. Okay, here's a trip. In London, a Vietnamese restaurant was shut down after inspectors found dog meat in their freezer. For authentic Vietnamese taste in London, please visit. Different strokes for different folks. Cultures are cultures. But, as would be with the USDA, inspections would prohibit you from having dog meat in your freezer. It makes me sad. A new study shows that New Yorkers have an average daily screen time of, you ready for this? Daily average screen time for a New Yorker, 6 hours and 12 minutes. And the average scrolling distance, doom scrolling away on your phone, 81.14 miles a year. They scroll 81 miles of phone, of timeline. 81 miles of that shit in a year. Holy crap. That's kind of crazy to me. You know what's cool? LL Cool J is going to host the MTV Video Music Awards this year. He's going to be walking with a panther. It's coming up September 7th, in case you care. I don't. The U.S. Supreme Court is allowing Mississippi law requiring social media to verify children's ages to stay in effect for now. Did you catch the social buzz about the introduction of male cheerleaders to the Minnesota Vikings sidelines this season? It's interesting because when you think of male cheerleaders, we typically think of base guys that are, the strength underneath that do the super cool cheerleader jumpy flyy thingies and be that stable foundation. This was like if we had male sun dancers. The dude was just out busting it out, breaking it off. He didn't have the go-go boots, but it was not what I was expecting from male cheerleader. I don't really care. I'm not going to be a jerk about it. Wasn't appealing to me. I'm glad he's flexible. I'm glad he's dancing. That's cool. But, I want to see cheerleading. That's a cheerleader thing. They weren't going rah-rah-ree, kick him in the knee, rah-rah-ras, kick him in the other knee. There was no cheering going on. It bothers me. I think cheerleaders should be allowed to cheer and make people cheer. That's good stuff. Maybe they do. Maybe it just don't sit close enough. 1.3 million viewers tuned in to watch the New Heights podcast last week on YouTube, right? With the Kelsey boys and Taylor Swift. Within the first hour that it was on. So within the first hour, 1.3 million viewers. That shatters the record that was held by Donald Trump when he was on Joe Rogan's podcast. 800,000 people tuned in the first hour to watch that. 1.3 million tuned in to watch this podcast. Kind of crazy. Must have got one from the mail order catalog. Boom. Tsh. Yep, you found it. What are kids finding under their pillows from the Tooth Fairy? You got any kids losing teeth, you leave them their money under the Tooth Fairy or under the pillow for the Tooth Fairy, right? Tooth Fairy is getting poorer. It has fallen 14% since last year. The average last year, $5.84, has fallen to $5.01. Needs to be falling to $1 and make some sense. But anyway, that marks one of the most significant year-over-year declines in Tooth Fairy giving since Delta Dental began its annual original Tooth Fairy poll 27 years ago. In 27 years, that's the biggest decline in Tooth Fairy money. It's more fun to leave them like a Susan B. Anthony coin or something cool like that, right? A little collecty or a $2 bill. You know what I mean? Give it some character. Your kid don't need funding. I got $5. Now I'm gonna go buy some, Pokemon cards or something. Come on, man. Yeah, Dennis. I know there was a lot of controversy over the whole thing. That's right. Yeah, the Tooth Fairy. The Tooth Fairy didn't come. Damn it! Backlogs. Oh, let me explain backlogs to you, son. The tax season. There are rumors that the 2026 tax season may start 3 weeks later than usual because of the IRS cutbacks. Sorry, can't work here anymore. But it may begin 3 weeks later. And finally, rapper Sean Kingston had that really stupid song, that beautiful girl, dee-der-dee-der-dee-der-dee-der-dee, suicidal. I hate that song. Sean Kingston's going to federal prison. Got sentenced on Friday after a jury found him and his mother guilty of wire fraud earlier this year. So there you go. Sean Kingston out there scheming. Well, I heard he was kind of a jerk anyway. All right, it is 8:05. We're going to roll through our body care tips here real quick because, again, at 51, I'm feeling some, ow. So I want to talk about some body parts that, as you maintain them well and have your certain lifestyle and environmental factors and all those kind of things, you could have some parts growing older ahead of time, okay? Especially if you ride your one wheel and nosedive and land on them. Number one is your knees, right? Your knee joints are under constant pressure, regular everyday tasks, walking up the stairs, everything you do when you're standing, it affects your knees. The cartilage around the meniscus, that's the parentheses on your kneecap kind of, that protects the bones, that can wear down over time. So you can have a little grindage in there. Knee replacements, not uncommon these days, thanks to AI and Skynet. As you get older, your vision begins to change. Your eyes may need to get some readers, like some of us. Even if you still feel youthful, your eyes, according to the National Institute on Aging, you may lose the ability to see objects up close, get those readers, right? Or have trouble adjusting quickly to changing light, I can't see that, I fell down the stairs. So, keep those things in mind. Telling certain colors apart may get harder, too. Like me, I can't figure out a green screen to save my ass. Your skin is often where you find the earliest signs of aging, right? Some of the changes are just a natural part of getting older. But personal habits, outside influences, those can all be responsible for changes with your skin, right? Maybe fat for a real long time, you lose weight, and you get all the skin, and you can, buffalo your head. Look at that. Scalp wrinkles. Excuse me. But one of the biggest premature aging issues with skin is sunlight, right? So wear your sunblock. Wear a hat. Take care of your skin, okay? Do it now. It's never too early. Our hands are exposed to everything. Sunlight, to harsh elements, to, if you work manual labor, you work on a farm or something, you smash shit up, and you get gnarled up hands after a little while. I've trombone playing for 35 years. I've got arthritic bumps all over this bitch. That's why I don't wear my wedding ring, because my arthritic-ass knuckle. But also frequent washing of your hands and the hot water that can strip away your skin's natural oils, right? That can be more vulnerable to dryness and cracking and irritation, like around your cuticles and so if you get a hangnail and it just sucks, okay? Lube your hands. Aging for males. Get your yes, every single year. Yes. And get it all checked. Get your PSA checked. Get your DPI checked. Get your PSI checked. You might be a little under pressure. Your hair. Your scalp ages 6 times faster than your face, according to studies. A slowdown in the production of collagen and elastin in the scalp leads to less production of natural oils, makes the scalp more thinner, more elastic, exacerbated by such factors like stress, chemical hair treatments, smoking, physical problems, acne, skin infections, dandruff. Your hair is sensitive. All right? Let's take care of that. All right. Hey, just take care of yourself. Damn it. But those are some things that do age quicker than other things on our bodies. I know for me, it's the arthritis nuggets, those things that bother me. Like my feet and both my big toes. I got some big old arthritis on them bitches. That's it, Drew. And I had my first one, I think I was like 35-ish. And I just went because I had some blood and I didn't know why. It had nothing to do with anything, but it was incredibly important. And it doesn't take that hard. It doesn't take that long. And your insurance will cover it. And a lot of times, I'll put this out there too. If you've got insurance, check with your insurance because most insurance companies now, through employment, incentivize you to do annual wellness checks. You might make $100 or $200 for just going and get your wellness check. Here's my numbers. Look, boss, I did it. And then you make $100 extra. You know what I mean? It's important. Look at that. That's a little incentivization to get your ass out there. But do. Check your balls, check your holes, check all the cracks and crevices. You got a weird-looking mole somewhere. You got one of you like, bro, I don't know what this is. Go get it checked out. I did. I had some weird-looking spots. I was like, what the hell is this? Nah, you're good, says the dermatologist. They know. Science. All right. 10 totally forgotten deadly American disasters that will leave you astonished. By the way, this is my son's marching band shirt for this year. Shine Through. That's the show. They're going to have a cool-ass show. I really dig the music they're doing. Glucosamine, chondroitin. Yep. I remember back in my radio days 25 years ago, it was ginkgo biloba, and it was like the memory booster shit. That was a big deal. Ginkgo. Get the ginkgo. But supplements are good. I like the cacao bean. Mm-mm. That was the most stable groundabout cup I've had. They've not been the friendliest. History is filled with tales of tragedy, and many of these echo in our museums and around our stories at campfires and so forth. There are stories we know very, very well, famous disasters in America. But there are many that, for one reason or another, have fallen to the wayward side of the road of history. And so we're going to dig up some of these. It's 8:11. We got 20 minutes. Let's go. Number one on the list, and we'll get to the one that Rhett mentioned at the top of the show because he knew I was talking about. But number one on the list is the Peshtigo Fire. Okay, the Peshtigo Fire happened in 1871. You know what else happened in 1871? The Great Chicago Fire. Now, most of us have heard about the Great Chicago Fire, right? This was a big deal. It's like the San Francisco Fire. Big-ass fire. Well, the Great Chicago Fire happened the exact same day as the Peshtigo Fire. The Peshtigo Fire was the deadliest fire in American history, but it's not famous. You never heard of it. But it killed more people than the Chicago Fire, the San Francisco Fire, the Earth, Wind, and Fire, okay? This Wisconsin inferno was far more devastating, infinitely more devastating than these other fires. But the Chicago blaze dominates the history books, of course, because of media attention, etc. So the Peshtigo Fire burned through 1.2 million acres, claimed an estimated 1,500 to 2,500 lives. Again, this is 1871. Dwarfed the death toll of its more famous counterpart. The blaze was so intense that it was described as a tornado of fire, with eyewitnesses reporting that the Peshtigo River itself caught on fire. The tragedy, good morning, Lorraine. The tragedy was largely overshadowed, though, of course, by the media's focus on the urban destruction in Chicago. And Peshtigo's immense loss was left as a footnote in history. Oh, that's right, Dennis. It wasn't the same day. You're right. The Great Molasses Flood. Now, this is one of those Ripley's Believe It or Not ones I remembered reading about when I was a kid. 1919, a bizarre and sticky demise. Imagine a 25-foot high wave. 25 feet is a substantial wave. Go out into the street, look 2 floors up, and it's taller than that. Okay? A 25-foot high wave of molasses moving at 35 miles per hour, crashing through the streets of Boston. This surreal and deadly event actually happened and unfolded on a warm January day when a massive storage tank burst and unleashed over 2.3 million gallons of the viscous sweetener. The sheer force of the wave demolished buildings, knocked elevated train tracks over, engulfed everything in its path. It was like Ghostbusters slime on a massive scale. The bizarre disaster killed 21 people, injured 150 more. Many victims suffocated in the thicky goo. It's like an ant trapped in honey. That's what it would be like. Oh, what a terrible way to go. You drown in molasses. Because when it happens, you panic and you're also like, oh, it's so sweet. And then you're dead. That's the last thing you think. This disaster led to significant changes in construction standards. But the sheer strangeness of the event has often relegated it to the realm of oddball history rather than an actual recognized tragedy. You live 2 blocks from there. No kidding. That is wild. In Milton. The Milton Molasses Tragedy. In 1865, a maritime disaster happened that is lost in the fog of war, the Sultana steamboat explosion. Just weeks after the assassination of Abraham Lincoln and the end of the Civil War, everything had just ended officially, but the nation still had some stuff going on. The nation was diverted from what remains the deadliest maritime disaster in U.S. history. The steamboat Sultana was dangerously overcrowded. Way too many people. Over 2,100 people, mostly Union soldiers who were recently released from Confederate encampments, prison camps, right? War's over. Release the prisoners. Prisoners are piled on this riverboat. Looked like one of them buses in India where people are all up in each other's pockets, okay? Going up the Mississippi River, boom! Steamboat explodes. What happened? Well, there was a faulty boiler, and the immense human cargo led to a catastrophic blast, killed an estimated 1,800 people. Almost everybody on the riverboat died. But Lincoln was assassinated. The war was over. That was the press in the story of the Sultana, and its tragic passengers was largely lost to the currents of history. Hold on, I'm coming. Like I said, I got a bag of Lambert's rolls, just like, let's get it. Oh, molasses for days. Oh, I do love molasses. You know what else I love? Oh, look out. That's an empty one, though. Sorry to tease. I will say this. The minis, the 8.5s. Yesterday, I stopped at a gas station in St. Genevieve after we went to the water park, and I bought 2 12-packs. Yeah, they had a fresh stack. Don't lowball me. I know what I got. All right, the next one up is the Hawk's Nest tunnel disaster. This is in West Virginia, in the mountains of West Virginia. There was, what happened, this is in the 1930s, okay, probably a WPA project. A slow, suffocating tragedy. And here's what happened. A tunnel was dug to divert the river for a hydroelectric project, right? They're going to build a dam. They're going to create a hydroelectric generator there, get some power going. Cool. So they're digging a tunnel. What happened was a terrible industrial disaster that claimed the lives of hundreds of workers, the majority of whom were African-American migrants. African-American migrants. The workers were exposed to high levels of silica dust without any respiratory protection, which led to a swift and brutal outbreak of silicosis, a debilitating lung disease. The exact death toll is actually unknown. Estimates put it in the 700 to 1,000 people range. The company, the mining company, or the tunneling company, where the excavation company, they hid the numbers, deliberately hid the numbers, suppressed them, right? Because they didn't want to look like terrible people. But we put those African-American migrants in the tunnels to dig, no protection, killing them off. It highlighted, this tragic event, highlighted the horrible labor conditions of the era and the callous disregard for the lives of marginalized workers. And it wasn't just there that we saw that marginalization, right? The mining communities so much. It's crazy. The New London School explosion, 1937. This was a catastrophe fueled by ignorance. In a horrific instant, the New London School, this was in Texas, by the way, not in London, but the New London School was obliterated by a natural gas explosion, 1937. Killed an estimated 295 students and teachers. It's like these. It's when we were on the outset of the Industrial Revolution and things. It was still happening, but this was after we were just creating things so fast and fuck safety. Let's go. Oh, let's do this too. Let's do that too. It was like we were children with sharp knives juggling them, but being able to build things. The school had been using residue gas, which is an an odorless byproduct of oil production. So they're pumping away the refining oil. They're pumping off the residue gas to heat the building. This was a standard procedure at the time, a cost-saving option to keep schools warm, right? So they did this. Well, it was odorless. A gas leak in the crawl space, underneath everything. It went undetected. And a little spark from some electrical equipment set it off, blew it to pieces. Massive blast. Blew the entire school apart. Not exaggerating. Like, freaking Michael Bay was like, damn. The sheer scale of the tragedy involving so many children shocked the nation, led to the widespread odorization of natural gas so that leaks could be easily detected. That's why you smell sulfur, you smell funky eggs, you're like, you've got a gas leak, and you know what a gas leak smells like. Well, it goes back to 1937, partially. The Port Chicago disaster. This happened in 1944. Okay, we're getting a little more recent times here. This was during the height of World War II. There was a massive explosion at the Port Chicago Naval Base in California. Killed 320 sailors and civilians, injured 390 others. There were 2 ships that were being loaded with ammunition, right, for the war, putting all the munitions in there. The ships detonated as they were being loaded with munitions. The blast was so powerful it was felt miles away. The majority of the dead were African American sailors who had been tasked with the dangerous work of loading ammunition. Again, marginalized, They loaded the ammunition under immense pressure and with inadequate training. Move your ass, move your ass, move your ass. Stack them up, flip it up, rub it down, oh no. I was reading here. Oh, the Tonkin. Yeah, I don't think that's in my list here. I will. That's crazy. So anyway, they're loading this up. In the aftermath, 258 surviving black sailors refused to continue the perilous work, and it led to the largest mutiny trial in U.S. naval history. Shined a harsh light on the military's segregationist policies in World War II. Operation Move the Dockies, right? South Park sniffed it out. But yeah, this was what happened. And because they refused to do the work, put all of them on trial for mutiny. Okay, next on the list, how many we got left here? Oh yeah, we got to move. The Texas City disaster, 1947. This was America's deadliest industrial accident. There was a fire aboard the SS Grand Camp, which was a ship that was docked at Texas City, loaded with ammonium nitrate, which we all know, Edward R. Murrow Federal Building knows, can be a big blast, right? Well, this led to a catastrophic explosion that not only caused the catastrophic explosion, it led to a chain reaction of fires and blasts in nearby chemical plants and oil refineries, because that's a great place to store ammonium nitrate on a big-ass ship. The initial explosion was so powerful it knocked people to the ground in Galveston, 10 miles away. Imagine this, okay? An explosion so big you can knock somebody over 10 miles away. It was heard over 150 miles away. The disaster killed at least 581 people, including all but one member of the Texas City Fire Department. Wiped out all but one, the whole fire department. Left thousands of people injured. It remains the deadliest industrial accident in American history. A terrifying example of the power of modern industry, right? Craziness. The Great New England Hurricane of 1938, the Long Island Express, without the benefit of modern forecasting and satellite imagery like we have today, where we can keep a watch on Erin and her crazy ass. This powerful Category 3 hurricane caught the Northeast completely by surprise. It made landfall on Long Island, then ripped through New England at an incredible forward speed of almost 60 miles an hour. It was dubbed the Long Island Express. The storm's massive storm surge and powerful winds were responsible for the deaths of an estimated 680 to 800 people and the destruction of over 57,000 homes. Because of the lack of warning, many people were caught unaware, which led to that catastrophic loss of life that more recent storms have overshadowed. So, and then this is the one that came up earlier when I mentioned one that came close to our area. The tri-state tornado of 1925, a monstrous F5, a monster on the plains. And I'm going to post this link because this is kind of cool, and you guys can reference this later if you want. But weather.gov has got basically a map that maps the path of this tornado, of which we will now speak, that you can see, and you can see the path of it as it went through 3 states, started mid-Missouri, okay? Carved a 219-mile path of destruction through Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana, and this was 1925, okay? So this was the anti-M. If you see it, there's a fucking tornado. But you hear it, choo-choo, then there's a tornado. Ain't nobody on the radio, nobody, they no TVs. Anti-M, riding their bike down the road going, there's a tornado. Paul Revere hauling ass. No. It was on the ground for over 3.5 hours, obliterated entire towns, including Bealey, Missouri. Entire town, obliterated. Yeah, Lorraine, and just forgotten in time, right? That's the wild thing. But yeah, Bealey, which is 7-8 miles north of our farm in New Wells. But eliminated entire towns. The death of 695 people, over 2,000 injured from this single tornado. The sheer scale and longevity are almost incomprehensible by modern standards. I mean, to think of a path, an F5 hitting us now, 220 miles through the ground, is devastating. In an era before advanced storm spotting, and all this stuff, communities in the path didn't have much time to prepare. Fortunately, it was 100 years ago, literally, and there was not as many people around. So, crazy stuff. And our final macabre story for the day, the Cheniere Caminada. Cheniere Caminada Hurricane, 1893. Okay, before the infamous Galveston Hurricane of 1900, there was a powerful Category 4 storm that slammed into the Louisiana coast, as hurricanes are known to do, right? We've seen it happen. But 1893, this hurricane lands, virtually wipes the vibrant fishing community of Cheniere Caminada off the map. Like, literally, God, what a power washer, spraying this town away. There was a massive storm surge, 16 feet, that inundated the island, sunk it, more or less, killing approximately 2,000 people, nearly half the island's population, 2,000 people. The devastation was so complete that the community was never rebuilt. Straight Sodom and Gomorrah, and yeah, they're out. This hurricane from 1893 stands as one of the deadliest in U.S. history, yet its story has been submerged mainly by time and, of course, the subsequent tragedies from hurricanes like the one in Galveston in 1900 and all the way up to Katrina back in 2005, etc. But half the island, and just that's it. They were done. They didn't live there anymore. Crazy. All right, it's 8:29. We are not going to write a bad poem with AI. We're going to get into our warm and fuzzies and get us out of the deadly terribleness. Although it is Bad Poetry Day, so I will put the obligatory graphic up. My name is Darren, and I'd like to say I love Fruity Pebbles in a major way. That's early 90s rap for you. All right, let's get warm and fuzzy. Anybody getting excited for Halloween yet? I know it's August. But I was in the store the other day. Over the weekend, we were in the store, and there was Halloween stuff out, right? You go to Menards, and they got the 30-foot witch and like a crazy skeleton jack-o'-lantern guy, all kinds of stuff. You know, like $300 yard ornaments. I'm not doing that. It puts way too much attention on my house. But I do like the little skelly skulls and stuff. I think those are cool. I saw a deal where a guy took basically, just a skull mold, and then you take milk jugs, and you cut the handly part off, slide it down over the skull milk, and then you use like your hairdryer or a shrink gun and like a cool rag or whatever, and basically form the milk jug to the skull, and you can make your own plastic skulls for throwing out in your yard and throwing at people and stuff out of old milk jugs. Sound like fun? Get crafty. You know what I want to do in Halloween this year is I want to ride my one wheel with some kind of costume and have my lights glowing so I can ride around and be annoying dad. Happy warm and fuzzy time. Let's get into it, Monday friends. Number one, KDVR says a kitten was recently rescued from a mobile home fire in Bennett, Colorado. The tiny kitten was found by firefighters amidst the debris. It survived the fire. Are you kidding me? The firefighter gently cradled the kitten in his hands. It was unharmed and is now safe and sound. Oh. They call him Smokey or Blaze or what'd they name him? Come on, you know I know, right? Does baby survive that fire? You know, kittens have come out of some weird places, man, like that fire, or like you drive 100 miles and somebody stops at the gas station and then there's a kitten that's been in the glove box or some shit for like 100 miles, or under the hood somewhere. Oh, pesky little boogers. Let's see. Next on the list, Montana Right Now, which is like their TMZ for Montana, says Bozeman police officers recently saved a choking man at an Exxon. The officers realized the man was in distress, performed the Heimlich maneuver, and they successfully dislodged a large gumball from his windpipe. The man did not require hospitalization. You know what he did? He got one of them crank machine big-ass gumballs that you like, humph, and then you, but he didn't. In time, it slipped in, and then he was choking. You got to be careful with that double bubble, okay? WDNT says a Middletown, Ohio family recently reunited with their missing cat after it disappeared for 3 weeks. Oh, I would just be sick to my stomach if my cat was missing for 3 weeks. Are you nuts? My poor babies. The community rallied together to help search for the beloved pet, and the cat was found hiding under a deck. Was safely returned to its owners. The family expressed immense gratitude for the community's support and help in finding their kitty cat. Theo, the cat, went missing after some douchebag on a motorcycle revved his engine at the house and the cat ran into the woods. Damn it. Go do that somewhere else, you pecker gnat. But hey, I like motorcycles. They're fun. Just don't rev it and scare the cats. That's all. But good deal. I'm glad the kitty cat was found. All worked out. And that, kids, is going to wrap today's show. Again, thank you for tuning in today. You may see me on the road this week. I don't know if I'll do a live or not in the vehicle. That's going to be weird because I can't really read the comments while I'm driving. So, I don't know. It's a long drive. We'll see what happens if I get bored. But, yeah. So, as of now, no show Wednesday morning or Friday morning. And unless I decide to do one from Tejas, I'll let you know on the old socials if I do. And we'll see you then. Have a great week. Best of luck. Back to school time for your kids, whether they're starting today or tomorrow, they already started, or maybe they're kicking off to college for the first time. Man, have an ounce and an iota, a little more patience as you get around today, okay? Watch out for those school buses. Slow down. Be observant. Use your periphery, damn it, and be careful out there. Be nice humans. See you later. Have a great week. In immortal words of Mickey Sharp,